Good morning. This is Manoj Srivas, Assistant Professor in CSC Department, and I will be discussing today on the concepts of Java, and it is mainly for the students of BTech student, and even all the other students, for example, BCA and MCA can go through this topic because this concept is very important and it can be understand here with very proper knowledge and concepts. We will be starting what actually the OOPS concept and what Java is. As per the Java programming language is concerned, it is a high-level programming language and developed by Sun Microsystem in 1995. Java can run on any other platform or any other operating system, Windows, Mac operating system or Unix operating system. And Java platform, there are different editions. This edition actually represents means what kind of development work or application software development work can be done in this particular platform. Java Standard Edition is used for developing developed application software. Similarly, for developing web application, Java EE, that is Enterprise Edition, is used. Another one is Micro Edition, which is used for especially for mobile development. And another one is Java FX. Java is used to develop rich internet applications. But nowadays, what is happening is now different editions also has been and interfaces has been introduced in the market today, which is being used for writing different sorts of codes, or we can say that full stack development can be done here in the Java programming or Java platform. And along with that, the different interfaces are, for example, Eclipse, it is IntelliJ, and Visual Studio Code. These are the interfaces where very easily programs can be written, application software can be developed. Now, it is very important to understand what actually the Java feature contains. What are the features that Java holds? One is the object-oriented. It is object-oriented programming, and actually, what this object-oriented means here means if we talk about this object-oriented programming, means what object refers to here is object is an entity, real-time entity we can say here, and without real-time entity, this object-oriented concepts cannot be implemented in any of the programming language, and especially this Java programming language has been introduced here to understand this object-oriented programming concepts. Another feature of this Java programming is platform independent, and platform independent is mainly done with the help of JVM, that is Java Virtual Machine. And actually, Java Virtual Machine is a software layer, we can say, or software. This helps to convert any of the high-level languages into the machine-readable code, and that's why this machine-readable code can be converted into a platform-independent code. Means actually JVM converts any of the high-level language into a byte code after compilation, and this byte code is actually a machine-readable, and this machine-readable, because of this machine-readability, it can be executed or it can be run on any of the platform, for example, Windows operating system, or you can say Mac operating system or Linux operating system. Another is it is secure, virus-free and tamper-free. Why it is called so, virus-free or tamper-free? Because it is a source code written in a high-level language under the observation of a programming language, a programmer, and it is when it is built into a portable form, that is, it can be transferred to any other system. When during the transformation, only the virus or a tampering can be occur. But when we are programming, when we are writing a program code, it is very well known, very inbuilt, a very typed language it is, and when we are trying to modify certain sort of code, it will be absorbed over there. or when we try to compile, it will not be, it will show some sort of extra code is that has been implemented, or that has been intruded or imposed into that. And that's why securing security here is also refers to that when we are creating a jar file through the package or through a clean building the file, this creates a jar file which is portable and can be transferred to any of the operating system or transferred to any of the device where that code has to be executed. If that jar file holds what actually it is, it contains all the build files, all the required library files, and all the dependencies are present over there. So external source is not required for modifying of or archiving that jar files into a different system, because during the archiving process or during the execution process, only the virus or a temper can be provided into that system. That's why it is called secure and tamper free. Architectural neutral. Architectural neutral, it is says why it is architectural neutral, because if you talk about the system, all the activities, all the programming that is being done over there is finally converted into bytecode, and that bytecode has to be get executed by any of the machine or any of the platform that is being used by the programmer or by the user. That's why when it is in byte format, it can be executed anywhere. That's why it is called architectural neutral. And here in size of INT, it is 2 byte, 32 bytes, 32-bit systems, or 4 byte for 64-bit system. Java take common 4 byte for 32 or 64-bit. That's why it is also treated as an architectural neutral, because it takes a common 4 byte or 32 or 64-bit system. Portable, due to architectural neutrality, is portable, robust, strong compilation error checking, and execution or management can be done here. Multi-threaded, one of the feature of this Java programming is multi-threading, means multiple process can be created and or you can say a task can be created and simultaneously it can be executed on the system. Interpreted work when byte code converted into a machine code. Distributed. Java is designed for distributed environment of internet application. Now, for understanding how this Java setup works, means from the any of the system we can directly click the particular Java setup folder, and we can modify the settings, or we can do the advanced settings into that. And from the advanced tab, we can set the environment, we can set all the environment variables, and we can edit all those variables, and with the new button or a Java bin directory, we can start our program. Another concept comes here in Java is a JVM. So what actually JVM is, I've already stated that in during the feature of the Java, that Java virtual machine exactly converts the high-level language into the machine-readable code, that is bytecode. So Java stands for virtual machine. We can execute Java program on this, and JVM can run Java program without installing Java in any of the machine. This is the very important feature of JVM, means without installing it can directly execute or run the program. And how this happens, how the compilation process happens in Java, we can say here is this actually is what it is, a source code or source file, where the extension of source file is always .java, and the name can be anything that user want or programmer want to keeps here. So we will write here the source code, or you can say it is a source file. This source file will be compiled to get the class file. This class file actually holds a byte or secure code, which is understood by the JVM, and this class file can be executed in any of the machine as per the platform that is being provided to the programmer. And after execution, you will get the output. This is what a simple structure of a Java program, how the compilation process is being done here, and how the bytecode is converted, and what is the extension of the file that is being converted here. It is a class file, and after execution, it will give you. But here we can see that this class file is actually, it is similar to executable file because it holds a bytecode, and JVM is the machine, or Java virtual machine is a platform where it will directly execute this class file. That's why whenever source code is compiled, it converts into a class file, and this class file contains some machine readable code. Now here comes important topic, that is object oriented programming, that is OOPS concept in Java. This Java is actually an object oriented programming, and without understanding this OOPS concept, it is not possible for any of the programmer to write the code very effective way or in effective manner. That's why it is very important to understand the concepts of Java, that is OOPS concepts in Java. What are the OOPS concepts? Now, if we see the first statement, that is Java is a pure object oriented programming. Nowadays it is not possible comparatively to some of the specific object oriented programming languages. For example, in Smalltalk, we can't say that Java is pure object oriented programming language, but it supports given OOPS concepts, and it is said that it is a pure object oriented programming because each and everything happens in class. Each and every code or byte of code is being written into the class, and then it is accessed with the help of object created in a main method, whatever class is holding the main method. Now, exactly what class is, now we will talk about the class. What exactly class is? A class is a blueprint of an object that contains variables for storing data and functions to perform operations on the data. Means if we want to simply represent in a, what we say, class diagram. For a class diagram, we use a block. This block here represents a class, and class can have any of the name. For example, XY is the name of the class. This is name of the class, and this part holds what exactly, means at definition says that it is a blueprint of object that contains variables and functions. Means whatever data type having variables are being defined here, and all the functions or method, you can see, are defined here in this body. For example, M1 is a method, and int a is a variable that is being created in the class XY. So this is the actual blueprint of creating variables or methods that is being represented here in a class. Now, what we say, this is actually are called members of this XY class. That's why it is calling here a class as a blueprint of object. And this variables and functions which is being introduced or which is being defined here are treated as an object of that class, or we can say that instance, another word which is replaces this object with a instance of class, variables, object. All these are very correlated, very having minor difference, but it has near about similarity while representing a class members and class name. Next comes object. What objects are? Objects are the basic runtime entities of an object-oriented system. They represent a person, place, or any item. Means we can say here that object is a real-time entity, and this real-time entity represents what? Means whatever we are trying to understand and make the program for it. Means actually a programmer work is to program all the entities that is present in front of him in environment, which is treated as an object here. And this object helps in writing code in a Java programming. Now here comes another OOPS concept, very important concept is abstraction. So as you can see here, exactly, abstraction is to represent the essential feature without representing the background details. That means what exactly it is. Abstraction means to represent the essential feature without representing the background details. Means when we are writing a program, when a programmer writes a program, he knows all the essential members that is to be jotted down into here in his program, and he exactly knows the all details where this particular variable or where this function will be get utilized. When we write a any of the class member, when we try to write here data types and variable, whenever we define here, or whenever we define a function into this class file, so what exactly we are trying to storing that information into a class file. And after storing, next comes what means this particular variable and members will be called into the main method with the help of object by creating object of that particular class, and it will be called into the program. By calling, this member can be get accessed here. This is the internal feature we can say in a programming language, but in terms of user, those who are trying to use the interface or application software that has been developed in Java programming language, for those people, here comes the abstraction concept for those people. For programmer, programmer know it is very well. He knows that what are the elements or what are the variables or what are the method that is to be mentioned here, which will be utilized in the programming. But the user, one we can say is a naive user who don't know about the programming skills. You only have to interact with the user or machine on which this particular programming application software has been installed. Then for that person, the term abstraction comes here. Abstraction to represents the essential feature without representing the background details. Means without representing, for him, he has to not understand what exactly the background it contains, but he only have to be directly interact with the system or application software, how this particular activity will be performed, what data has to be entered there, or what activity has to be performed here. Means simply by seeing, visualizing on the screen or interface that is being presented in front of him. So for programmer, abstraction is a very important concept which is used for providing all the background details, and this can be remain hidden from the user. That's why abstraction comes into the play. Next comes very important point is access modifier in the Java. Why we are talking about the access modifier here means this play one of the important role for object-oriented concepts, and all those instances and variables or methods that is being created are represented in the background of this programming language. There is certain sort of communication. The term coupling and cohesion is being used. This coupling and cohesion is actually, coupling means what? Means different methods or classes interacting with each other. And in cohesion, when certain variables or values that is being passed, being accessed or utilized by certain method is called cohesion. So these two terms are being utilized in Java programming language or any of the that is object-oriented programming language, and even in the procedure language, these two terms are used because in procedure language also there are some certain sort of methods are being used, and all programming languages, it is mainly based with a mainly having maximum number of methods or functions that is being utilized over there. That's why whenever movement of variable or whenever accessing of variables or object is being possible into that particular um, programming language, there comes the role of coupling and cohesion. But in case of object-oriented programming, we have here access modifier. The term access modifier has been introduced. That is, these access modifiers are utilized to um, represent the variables or member functions which is being used in the programming, and how and what kind of accessibility this particular variable or methods will have will depend upon this access modifier. When we say public, accessibility is anywhere. Anywhere means any of the class that is being designed in the object-oriented programming. For example, if we say that we are creating here, suppose a class xy, another class xyz, another class abc. All these are classes. 3 classes are present. We can say all these 3 classes can be present in a one file, one of the file or one of the programming file. Now the member intx or method 1, inty, method 2, similarly method 3 and method 4. These are the member methods and variables that is being introduced. If we say that all these members are public, this public is a keyword here in a programming language. If we say that public all these members, that means this member can be accessed here also, or this can be accessed here also. And if we are writing another file 2, this one is file 1, and here we are creating a class pqr, and if this class or file try to extend this file, extends here, this is a process how the public or private member can be accessed in a different classes. Means this file holding a pqr class now want to access the members, public member of xy class. This can be done with the help of extend keyword by simply extending. And when we talk about the code, we can say that pqr class extends xy class. This is how the code can be written during accessing. Just for the sake of understanding, pqr extends xy. So this is how we can access the public member of the other class into the new class that is being introduced here. And that's why this statement has been written here, accessible anywhere. Means these public members can be accessed in their inner class. We can say that the same file containing different classes, there also it can be accessed, and with the help of simply extending. This is the sort of code which will help to access all these public member into any of the classes if you want to access that. That's why the word anywhere is written. It means it can be accessed anywhere. But when we are talking about the private, accessible inside the class only through the member functions. That means what? If x is a variable and m1 is a method, and we can say in this class also xyz, here inty is a, if you write here private data type. Now m2 is a function and inty is a variable which is to be accessed. Now this private member can be accessed in this class directly. As it is said in this definition, that accessible inside the class only through the member function. So m2 is a member function of xyz class, and even y is a variable of xyz class. The same variable, the variable which is present in the same class, can be accessed with the member which is present over there. But if this Y private member of XYZ class to be extended with the ABC, suppose ABC extends class XYZ and want to access this will not be happen, because any of the private member defined by the keyword private, that cannot be accessed. If M2 is a public member, that can be accessed over there. So this is how the public and private can be defined in this Java programming language, and how it is accessible and how it is performed. This is done in the programming language, through the programming language. This is the conceptual way I have explained here. It contains certain sort of codes. With the help of code only we can access any of the data. And in next time, these are the OOPS concept. Even one of the another topic is protected, which will be introduced in next time. And later on we will discuss on the methods and some other properties of the OOPS concept, that is inheritance, polymorphism, and many others. Thank you. Thank you.